welcome to Loco for Leeds. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. And I'm delighted to say today that I'm joined by Cess from the West Ham Irons United channel. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good. It's been
Man,
a very unpredictable season, to say the least, for the pair of us, really.
it has
Um,
really, hasn't
we
it?
would have really thought the position that we'll both be in at the moment, really. You being a promoted side, I think that you've actually been a very exciting team, to say the least.
Yeah, it has just
You-
has been a bit like that, hasn't it, mate? It's been a bit like we score more than the opposition. How many more can we
yeah.
get? We've scored goals, but we've conceded goals as well. I mean, what are your thoughts on West Ham on West Ham's start to the season, mate? Are you quite happy with it, or how do you see it?
Um, I could say shocked, really,
Yeah,
to be honest with you. When Moyes come back to us from last season after Pellegrini, when we had that shambolic season, to be honest with you, we was fearing the worst, to be honest with you. The lack of signings that we had, just injuries, etc., which the limited budget that we had as well. We were fearing the worst, really. And when we saw this, our start in fixtures, we're just thinking, oh dear, we'll look at him for another rocky season. And then you're looking at how the games have gone, and we've been unlucky in some of them, to be honest with you. Bar the Newcastle, where we were abysmal. I'll be honest with you, we were awful. Over that first game, all the other games, either we scored in every single game pretty much. I think that Moyes has improved us. I have to give Moyes his due. I was very content with Moyes again. I've been very vocal about Moyes.
what was your thoughts on Moyes Cess, when he came in? Because he doesn't strike me as a really popular figure in.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, really. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't a very popular choice. It was more like he was the easy option, just to pick as a manager. It's
Yeah,
like on the circle of the big sands to see Bruce's,
exactly.
just
Yeah,
the emotions. It's an easy manager to pick out, and just
yeah.
put in your club.
I must admit, it did seem like that from looking into it. Like all these different managers, like you say, Allardyce and everybody, they just seem to swap.
Yeah.
Hodgson for a bit, one year they just swap clubs. But yeah, but he has, to be fair, he's done you pretty well
Oh,
actually.
absolutely, yeah. I couldn't be any more happier with what he's done at the moment. He's come in and he's improved us, really. He has. He really improved us. It's just with us, it's like we struggle with squad depth. I think that's where our issue lies,
Yeah.
and that's where it comes to the board, where they have to back Moyes in a situation where it's, they have to find the funds from somewhere and just give them the backing for the squad depth or something. Because as much as we've had this great start, don't get me wrong, us sitting seventh at the moment, we could, with the Man United game, we could have went third, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a disappointment, but
yeah, it is.
we're coming off a bit of a similar kind of game, Cess, really. I mean, 3-1, we both went up in those games, didn't we? 1-0 up, and you guys just crumbled in second half, and so did we, really, against
Yeah.
Chelsea. But I mean, back into the game on Friday, then, Cess, what are your memories of Leeds and West Ham games? Have is there any you can remember
Yeah,
at all?
yeah. I remember growing up, we had an awful record against Leeds.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely dreadful. You beat us 14 times, of the 20
yeah.
times we met. We only beat you twice. And then the last game that I remember was the 2003 one. That season, guess what? We got relegated.
Yeah, yeah, you did, and we got relegated.
With Canute got sent off, and then
Yeah, we got relegated the next season though, mate. I think you went. I think you went up. Did you go up? I think
No, we didn't go up the first time because remember we
Yeah,
went to the playoff final and bloody
you
Shipley.
lost to
Yeah,
who
lost
was
against
it?
Alex. Neil
Yeah,
Shipley.
yes, of course you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
remember it. Yeah,
God, yeah, I remember because we haven't played you now for 8 years.
yeah,
Last game we're in 2012, won it 1-1.
yeah,
But
pretty much. And then in the Premiership wise, it's nearly 18 years, man. It's like
yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it?
been a
Long time
long
coming.
time.
Long time coming, this one, mate. I mean, you say about the squad depth, Cess, in your squad. I mean, who is the player that you see as the kind of the key to win this one against Leeds, and kind of how do you see this this match go in itself?
It just again, I think Moyes is going to pretty much stick with the same team. As much as I want Ben Rama to start, I've been calling for him to start for the past few games. But I feel like Moyes is set out with sticking with his guns at the moment because things are just working at the moment. We've been playing well, to be honest with you. Actually, we've been playing all right. I think the past few games we rode our luck a bit, to be honest with you.
Really?
The Villa game, the Fuller game. The Sheffield United game, we rode our luck a bit, and I think that's where the luck ran out at the Man United game, where we probably played like the best first half of football like I've seen in a very long time. But then it's like the more we wasted all them chances. I was with my mate, he's a Man United fan.
Oh, crikey.
And I went to him, all the chances that we missed, I went, this has got Man United coming back written all over it. And as soon as that first goal went in, when Pogba with the brilliant strike, man. And mind you, Pogba hardly done anything that game as well, man.
But it curled out, didn't it?
Curled out, man, hit pretty much top bins. As soon as that went in, I went, it's going to be this, we're going to capitulate. Then another goal went in, but Greenwood's got a really good goal. And then, then Rashford made it 3-1. Like, Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, they changed the game completely. Literally, without them two, they'll be where Arsenal is at the moment, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
because you saw the game. You saw the game last night. The way they played, you know, yikes.
I didn't actually see the United one. They lost, didn't they?
Yeah. They were awful.
Yeah, not good. But I mean, I think you can go into fifth position, can't you, if you beat us? If you win this game on Friday. I mean, we can go level on points, can't we, with you?
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen anything of Leeds, Cess, in this season, and kind of what have you made of them? And who do you see as the danger man for us to cause you a bit of problems?
With Leeds, like you pretty much are like this gung ho team, pretty much.
Yeah, it's sort
like
of,
you said, you are like you would attack because I think your form. Yeah. I think BS has got that he plays that weird formation. It's like the 3-3-1-3 or something like that. It's like a weird formation. It's proper old school formation, but
4-1-4-1 it is.
It's a weird formation, but like with Bielsa, he's known for like doing that type of formation, and it's like trying to like press high, you know, try and like keep possession pretty much, and just literally just press as hard as possible so you can get the ball and just hit on the break. But that's where it leaves gaps where. Obviously, you've leaked a lot of goals because with that style, like you're vulnerable to the counter attack, and that's where like the goals have come from, and I feel that's where West Ham can take advantage, but it depends on what team he's going to play out. But I reckon if he plays like Bowen, who's been like a very good player for us, and starts Ben Rama, who are both direct wingers, I think that we could get something out of this game, but it just really depends on the tactics of Moyes.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of the formation? Because I've been looking at West Ham. You started with a certain formation, and was it 3-4-3? You started in many of the games.
Yeah, it is a 3-4-3, but sometimes it's like 5-2-3. It's like that as well. Sometimes it could be a 5-4-1 as well. It just depends.
Yeah,
between them three.
But I think with West Ham, I've got to admit, I think like a lot of teams, Cess, you can hit us on the counter, can't you? You can hit. That's where the gaps are, like you say.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to watch out for Ben Rama if he plays. I'm sure he'll play a part at some stage.
I'm hoping so.
I think he will. And then you've got Bowen as well, who started really well, hasn't he, mate? Bowen's got a good record against Leeds when he was at Hull, so. Will he get another goal? He might do. But I really like Haller. What are your thoughts on Haller, Cess? Because I think he's good.
You're the first person that said that he's actually been good. He's been the type of player that he has split the fan base completely. Really? He really has. It's like because of like with Antonio, we've been so used to like we can kick the ball long to like Antonio. He'll run, sprint to the ball. He'll chase everything down. Where Haller is a different type of player. You have to play to feet really, and he links up the play. But we're trying to like play Haller like he's Antonio, and he's not really like that. And he's been like getting absolutely caned. Sometimes it's questionable at times the way he's been playing. But I think the past few games he's been really good. I think there is still a really good player in Haller. It's just that you got to play to the way he played to his style.
Yeah, I think you're right because he isn't the same as Antonio. Is he? Antonio's a bit more. I don't know. He's a bit more nippy, isn't he? Antonio gets about a bit more. Haller is a kind of big striker, and he's almost your target man. I really like it. I rate him. I was quite surprised that West Ham actually got him. Cess, because you paid quite a lot of money. You paid a lot of money for him, didn't you?
Yeah, we did pay a lot of money for him. And I think that's where, because we paid a lot of money for him as well, and he's like, it's not been great for him, but there's still like room for improvement for him. I think that's where the fans are like, oh, we paid all this money for him. It's like Felipe Anderson. That's why.
I mean, he was a bit of a flop once. He says because he's on loan at Porto, isn't he?
Yeah, but he doesn't play at Porto.
I know.
Porto didn't even want him.
No, I mean what?
They didn't want him. So now he's.
What do you think of that though? When players like him are sitting on their bench or whatever, and you could kind of do him with it in your squad, to help you out because he's a decent player as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he's been inconsistent. Like Lazio fans warned. Lazio fans warned us. This is what he's like. And it's kind of like you reap what you sow, really, because we didn't really listen, and we're saying the exact same thing to Porto fans. It's kind of like a vicious circle, really. We're saying the exact same things that Lazio fans are saying. So he's not really delivered. He hasn't.
Yeah, he hasn't really. But I think. Do you think he's on loan though, isn't he? So will he come back to West Ham then? And
come back and he'll get sold off. Really, I think we'll start a lot with him. Yeah, I'll be honest. With you.
David Moyes, isn't it? He has his kind of favourites, I suppose.
Yeah, you don't fancy him.
No, but you've got players off the bench, haven't you, as well, Cess? Lanzini and Snoddy's still there. Snodgrass, isn't he? So, no doubt he might.
We still got Mr. West Ham Noble, who comes on for like the last 10 minutes of the game.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that's where it is. It's a squad depth, really. That's where I think we needed a bit more, coming into this season. We needed another centre mid. We needed another striker. We needed a couple of more players just to give us that extra.
Yeah, give them a bit more. I feel it is looking pretty good for West Ham, really. But I do feel, Seth, that you're probably in a good position where you're probably supposed to be with that squad. I feel it's a good squad, mate. I feel you might need one or two more players, but I think generally it is a very good team, and they should be doing. Well, they are 8th, aren't they? So you're about right now, but you're probably underachieving a little bit last season and things like that. Similar to, you probably won't thank me for saying this, that's really, but similar to kind of Crystal Palace with the squad.
Yeah.
I know it is with the squad. In way I feel it is sort of similar, where they should be doing better than they are because Crystal Palace they have a good squad there. I think West Ham have a better squad, but I think the kind of needs to be. 8th is quite a good position for you guys, isn't it? That'd be
at the moment, yeah. The way we finished season, we just about scraped relegation.
Yeah, it was. You finished. Was it 15th, 16th? Did you last?
Yeah, 15th. Yeah, because there was teams that were worse than us. That's pretty much what it boils down to. We don't have that issue at the moment because there are 4 teams that are absolutely dreadful at the moment.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that, mate. On my
and you're not one of them. You're not one of them.
No,
trust me, you're one of them.
I think we'll be all right. I think we'll lose a game like we did against Chelsea, and then we might get a result, say against West Ham. Thankful that we beat Everton, really. So. We'll get the odd result, and I feel like we'll upset one or two bigger teams as well along the way. And looking at the likes of Fulham, mate, West Brom, and obviously Sheffield United down there, dreadful. So I feel like we've got enough. We've got enough to get something, and certainly from this game, but certainly just in the whole season itself. But what do you reckon the predicted lineup? I'm going to ask you for a predicted lineup, Cess. If you can, for the game on Friday, what do you think it'll be?
He's gonna go the same. He'll go one change. I hope in one change it'll be Ben Rama for Fornals. He's going to go Lanzini in goal. He's going to go the back three of Creswell, Ogbola and Balbuena. He's going to have the wing backs of Kufal and Masuaku. He's going to have Declan Rice and Souček in the centre mids. He's going to have Bowen on the right, and then hopefully Ben Ram on the left, and then Haller up front. But he seems to like Fornals, you know. I know Fornals has done all right for us, but I think the past couple of games not really been in it. So I feel that we need to freshen up a bit having Ben Rama, and I think Ben Rama against Leeds is like tailor-made for him, really.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, mate, I'm a bit cautious of Ben Rama, I must admit. He did well against us, you know, when he was at Brentford. And he's just one of them players that I do feel can cause a lot of problems. Bowen, like I say, Bowen as well, because Bowen he started well, hasn't he? I think he had a little bit of when he first came in, he might have struggled a bit, but then from there, he's really seems to have gone on and done well, hasn't he, really? But
yeah, he has.
And you've had some really good results as well, haven't you? Sort of likes of beating Wolves, you know, which was a crazy result, that one, wasn't it, really? Obviously, you've got the 3 wins other than the one you lost to United. So for me, it's going to be tough. It doesn't matter for me that we're at home. I don't think that really matters because obviously we're not allowed any fans in. I mean, did you go? I mean, obviously West Ham fans are allowed in now, aren't they?
No, I picked the option 3 where I just literally paid my deposit and then I'll just waiting for things to sort of go back to normal. Like,
right.
And then I'll
back.
And I think everything that's gone on at the moment, I just decided that I'm not going to go back until it gets.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that, you know, Cess. You know, just kind of wanting to have that experience of the stadium full, you know, and obviously it's nice to go back and see it, isn't it? But you know, 2,000 people there, people might just prefer, you know, it's a massive stadium, isn't it, the London Stadium? What do you think of going from, I mean, it was a few years ago now, wasn't it, obviously, from Upton Park to London Stadium? How have you found that as a fan going, you know, into that new stadium?
It's kind of difficult, really. It really is. It's hard to like get into like the new surroundings of the stadium. It doesn't feel like a football stadium. It really doesn't. But I think it's where like us fans, we have to try and you know, we've made the move now. You know, like we don't like it, but we just have to like deal with it now and just make it as much homely as possible. You know, but it's difficult. It really is because like you miss Upton Park so much, but it's not the same. It's not the same being at London Stadium. But you know, we just have to like just keep supporting our team. Really, support the team. You know.
That's all.
Not the regime. Don't
support
my board because I'm very vocal with that, man. Because
have you got strong views on the board that are there? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's
I'm not a big fan of it.
No.
Not a big fan of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a Leeds fan, I've been there myself.
You found yourself there. Who was that guy that you had?
Celino, yeah, it was Celino.
Yeah, that fraud stuff, man. Yeah.
It's a nightmare, mate. And then you've got GFH before that, who weren't so good. And then obviously Ken Bates, who was a little bit dodgy as well. But for now, we're all right. We're on the right track for me. At the moment, Leeds, I think
really, man, because like you were like on the cusp of like non-existent, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was tricky, you know, going at that stage. We obviously went down. You guys went down, and then we battling, and it's taken us so many years to get back in. I mean, you've been back. Must be 5 years, 6 years now. Is this maybe? It's
we went down, then we was up, then stayed up for a bit, and then we went down. That season was horrendous. I don't really want to talk about that season. That's one of the worst seasons. We had Avram Grant.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
It was one of the most painful seasons.
Dear me.
I had to endure, and then we had brought Big Sam in, and he brought us back up. Kind of had like sort of like mid-table-ish, like.
Yeah.
And then Big Sam like was hated.
Yeah, just he's not well liked anywhere, is he? Really, he's not the best of football's player. But what did you think to Pellegrini, Cess? What did you reckon to him? Like,
It was crazy because I was like, you know what? I was thinking, yeah, let's like, I was backing him. I was giving him a chance. We done well, and then all of a sudden, it just went completely tits up. It just it went so bad. It was
really?
depressing at times. Like the football was dreadful. The tactics was dreadful. Like the players that we brought in, it was just like it just wasn't working out. Oh, I just didn't. It was like being in a nightmare, really. And I was just
Oh
thinking
no!
every game we went into, it's like I had no faith whatsoever.
Oh
And we
no!
had probably one of the worst keepers I've
Oh,
ever known in
was it?
Roberto.
Oh God, yeah. I'm going
Yeah,
to say Adrian, but Adrian was way
no, no,
before that,
no,
wasn't he?
no.
He was
Roberto, yeah, he was absolutely dreadful. One of the
oh,
worst keepers
yeah.
I've ever seen.
He's got a
Horrible.
decent one now, though. Fabianski's
Yeah, Fabianski,
quite
yeah, pretty much
safe
safe.
hands, isn't he? He's pretty safe hands.
Mm.
But yeah, that's a shame because Pellegrini, I remember, and that's probably where my thought sort of stems from. Cess really is you bring in some good players, but it never seems to quite work. And
No,
you know, it's quite nice really to see it in a sense working there now. Really, even though David Moyes is probably not the most popular of choices, but for now he's doing a decent job for you. You know, and that's good. You know, it's good to see it be good. I think it'd be a good matchup. This, I think, again, it's two teams who kind of like to play a little bit of to and fro into. I think West Ham are a bit tighter, maybe at the back than us, and
yeah.
we do have a few injuries as well, Seth. So you know, defensively we might be a little bit, you know, jumbled up at times.
Yeah,
But
a bit vulnerable, but it just depends really. It just depends. It could be one that you just don't know how this game's gonna go. Really, it could be one of them. It could be a high scoring like 4-4. It could be mental like that,
yeah, I
or
mean
it
we
could
have.
be just like a scrappy 1-0. It's just one of them. Just
Yeah,
games.
it's one of those games that is quite hard to predict. I think,
Mm.
Seth. But I will ask you for a score prediction. What do you think it's gonna be?
For me, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I'm gonna go with 2-1 West Ham. I'll be honest with you. It's gonna be
Yeah,
close.
I think it will be. It'll be a close match. I do think. I think you're tight at the back, and you will. I think probably look to hit us on the counter attack as a lot of teams
Yeah.
do. We leave ourselves wide open, and we will again. That's our game: attack, attack, attack. You know, we score more than you, and that's the
Pretty
way we
much, yeah.
do. It's pretty much the way we go. But before I go, Cess, I'd just like to get your thoughts on this debate that seems to be sort of raging in between.
Here we go. I know what's gonna. I know what you're
You
gonna
know
say.
what's coming, don't you,
Exactly
mate?
what
You
you're gonna
know,
say.
you know
Let
what's
me get.
coming,
Is
don't
it,
you?
is it
Go
two?
on then.
Is it 2 centimeters by any chance?
It might be, mate. It might just be that. Go on then.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I will just get your thoughts on that because obviously Declan Rice is obviously he's a big he's two players that are local lads, aren't they? From obviously
Yeah.
Rice is West Ham, Phillips is Leeds. But
Mm.
what do you think of Rice? I mean, obviously, you know, obviously you're a fan of West Ham and you're going to back him. But do you feel like, in a way, they can play together in an England team, or do you think it's very much a sense of one or the other?
No, but I'll be honest with you. Like watching Southgate football is not really it's not really enjoyable, to be honest with
not
you.
good, is it? Not good.
It's like his negative football just bores me to death. Like he's
Yeah,
basically playing like 7 like defensive minded players, which is just doesn't make sense at all. We have like our attacking players that we have is just we have some of the best there, and we're just
yeah.
we're not using them to the best of our ability, really.
Yeah, I
Like,
absolutely.
back to your question, yeah, it has to be one or the other. You can't play both Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips.
No.
It's just too defensive to me. You need balance in that midfield, and you need something that's gonna like help with the attack, and it just doesn't work playing both of them. The thing is, they are both talented players. They really are. I know you're gonna back Calvin Phillips to the death, and I'm gonna back Declan Rice to the death.
Yeah, of course we back the boys. We back our lads.
It's good that we have like 2 like talented players like them. It is, and it's good to have this type of debate.
It is. No, it is. I agree. Says it is because I feel like Yeah, I mean, like you say, we're going to back our players, aren't we? But I think we can both agree that Southgate, as a manager, doesn't ever, like you said, he doesn't get the best out of that team. It's so defensive, and he's got such a nice group of players to work with. You know, the likes of, well, Sancho and Sterling. You know, and just the whole bag of players, the whole group of players. Is quite an exciting group of players, which he doesn't use at all to his
And that's where the issue,
potential.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where the issue lies, really, because we're playing so defensive-minded football, and the football's not great. It's like it leaves where it's like either Calvin Phillips is going to be scapegoated, Declan Rice is going to be scapegoated, you know, and you know what it's like social media, they're going to jump on it. Everyone's just going to be like, this is, they don't deserve to be in England as well, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. Not realising that it's the tactics and it's how Southgate is set up. And it's just, it's set up for like players like Rice and Calvin Phillips to fail, really.
Yeah,
because both are defensive-minded, really defensive-minded midfielders.
I think Rice is a little bit more attacking minded than Phillips.
He's improved. Yeah, he's improved that game. Yeah, in terms of how he passes, he gets the ball, like runs with it. He looks to play. He looks to play out wide. He looks to drive the ball as well. I think he's developed that more as like the years have gone by. But
I think he's decent, Rice. You know, I mean, Phillips for me, he's just that defensive. I mean, in our team, he's just the man you need for the way we play, because we play so open. It's like he sits and mops up anything. Yeah. Sometimes it depends. This game on Friday will be very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they mark him out of the match. Because if you mark him out of the game, you've taken him away. Then you can basically just go straight through from attack to defence. He's the kind of link. Whereas because a lot of teams, particularly, I think Man City did it particularly well. I think just shielded Phillips out of the game, and suddenly they're just going straight through. He's, and he's the man, just holds everything together for us. So if you get him away, then you're very in with a good chance, I feel, of getting something out of us, because defensively, I don't think we're quite there yet. Really, Cooper is the one that I feel like West Ham will probably say, let's kind of get on him.
Kind of get on him, yeah.
And particularly if you get Haller on, get him up against him. I just feel Haller. I really would like him in our team, although I'm quite happy with Bamford at the moment. Although I do think we need another striker in there. But generally, I feel like you're going to cause us quite a few issues and be something that perhaps we haven't really come up against so far this season. But I will always never back us to lose, Cess. I feel like I think we're going to win this one, and I'm going to go with 2-0. 2-0, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But I think you will cause us lots of problems. I mean, I'm never right with my predictions, to be honest with you, mate. So.
Well, to be honest, you can't really predict this season.
You can't, can you?
Really. Well, unless you're playing like West Brom or like Fulham,
Then have you played any of those? You played Fulham, didn't you? You beat some, didn't you?
No, we played.
They played Fulham though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean we beat Fulham, but
how can I forget? How can I forget that? I looked
at
the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think of that one? It was a shocker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a shocker. But the thing is, like Fulham, like to be honest with you, as much as I like laugh at Fulham, like when they played against us, they were the better side. To be honest with you, we kind of, like I said, rode our luck,
I think they've improved slightly since the start of the season, mate. I think they have just tightened it up maybe, because we played them early on. I mean, we won 4-3 and everybody was saying, it's going to be one of those seasons, 4-3 every season, every game, sorry. But they did look poor actually. But I feel like, obviously there's quite a lot of London teams in the Premier League, isn't there? I mean, what are your thoughts on the Premier League London sides? I mean, obviously there's rivalry there, but is it nice to see another kind of, in terms of Fulham, is it nice to see another London side back in the Premier League? Or
no, of course, absolutely, yeah. It's good to see it. It is good to see another London club in here. I've got a few mates that are Fulham fans anyway, so it's good to have that type of banter with them again. You know,
Exactly. You get it back in.
it is. It's good. It makes it more exciting. You know, especially
Yeah.
with everything going on in this country. It's good to have to take away. To watch football, have a laugh with your friends, to have that, to take your mind off everything that's going on,
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, and hopefully before long we can all get back to the stadiums and enjoy the football, with everybody else as a full house. Because I know Leeds will be full. I'm sure West Ham at the London Stadium will be as well. So, yeah. But Cess, anyway, I'll leave it there, mate. And thank you very much for coming on and speaking to me.
Yeah,
all the best for the season, mate. And
good luck Friday. May the best team win.
Yeah, may the best team win, mate. Thanks a lot. See you in a bit.
I'll see you in there.